Hello and welcome to the 21st episode of Filmscapes. We're your hosts Matthew Ward and Tania Begum, and today on the show we will be discussing our favourite films, upcoming movies that you may or may not know about, and the battle between originals and remakes continues. So Tania, let's start this off with what your favourite film is.
Well, thank you, Matthew. I'll have to say my favourite film is Rampage.
Okay, I don't think I've watched that. What's it about?
It's about a primatologist named Davis who teams up with a geneticist called Dr. Kate and tries to save George, an albino gorilla, and prevent two giant mutated animals from wreaking havoc in Chicago. The movie was released in 2018. If you didn't know, Rampage is based off a video game released in 1986, which is where players take control of a trio of gigantic monsters trying to survive against onslaught of military forces. Each round is completed when a particular city is completely reduced to rubble. The budget for the film is $120 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is quite a lot.
It does sound like a lot.
Yeah.
There's a million at the end of that 120.
You gotta also consider like the actors and
Yeah, the CGI animals. I understand that.
the equipment and
Still
everything.
A lot of
Yeah,
money.
it's a lot of money. Yeah. So the actors are Dwayne Johnson, who we all know and love. He's in Fast and Furious and
Jumanji as well, yeah. The new one, not the old one.
We have Malin Ackerman, who plays Claire Wyden. She is the main lady in the film. We have Naomi Harris, who plays as Dr. Kate Codwell. She is the main villain in the film. Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays Agent Harvey Russell. He is another main character that you will see in the film. Joe Manganiello, he plays Burke. And Jason Lilas, I think that's how you say it, he plays George.
Okay, so we've got an albino gorilla in there. What are the other animals? Do you know?
We have a wolf who turns into like a massive wolf mixed with, I think, a bat. I'm not sure.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, and we have a crocodile. So, Matthew, what's your favourite movie? It can't be any worse than mine.
Well, Tania, I'm not too sure about that. I mean, you'd probably find it worse. I personally find it better. It is more my kind of film. It's The Birdcage. A lot of you won't have heard of it. For those of you who don't know what The Birdcage is, it was released in 1996, so it's older than both of us. It's based on two gay men that own, run, and star in a drag queen nightclub. Bet you wasn't expecting that, was you?
No, not really.
No. These two gay men, they have a son. Obviously, it's not an adopted son. One of the gay men slept with a woman. They didn't have an affair. It was before the two gay men met. And he had a son. And their son wants to marry a senator's daughter. Now, this senator is homophobic, or if he isn't homophobic, then the majority of the characters feel that he will be homophobic. So, in order for the son to get the senator's blessing to marry his daughter, he invites the senator's wife, and his future fiancée to a dinner party at his parents' house. Now, due to them all thinking that the senator is homophobic, or that he is homophobic, I'm not too sure on that bit. I'll have to re-watch it. It's been a while since I've watched it. I'm very good at remembering this kind of film. You should ask my dad. Now, so they try, due to the senator coming over for a dinner party, they try to act straight. And as this film is a comedy, and since it's a comedy, nothing goes to plan. There's a bunch of fails in it. It's really good. Now, the budget for this film, nowhere near as high as your one.
Ooh, I wonder what it is now. What is it?
It is $31 million US. So it's still high. It's still in the millions.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay
but
for
it's
like a movie.
nowhere near as much as your one.
It's okay, but it still is a lot of money though.
It is still a lot of money. Yeah, I'd love to have that amount of money.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah. I mean, I bet if this film had CGI animals running around and killing people, then it would probably have some more money going into it.
But then you got to consider it is an old movie.
It is an old movie, yeah.
So like, because Rampage came out in 2018, it's got like new technology.
Yeah,
whereas
it is more pushed towards CGI rather than natural effects. Now, I've narrowed this down to the top 4 actors. We've got Nathan Lane, who plays as Albert Goldman. He's also known for his roles in Mouse Hunt and The Lion King. We've got Robin Williams, who plays as Armand Goldman. He's known for his roles in Happy Feet and Robots. There's also Gene Hackman, who plays as Senator Kevin Keighley. He's played in Superman and Heist. And then finally we have Diane Wiest, who plays as Louise Keighley, the senator's wife. And she's known for her roles in Edward Scissorhands and one of my favourites, The Lost Boys.
So now I think we'll move on to upcoming films.
Yeah, let's do that. Then we'll do comparisons after that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright. Do you want to start first?
Okay, so I'll start off with the new upcoming Batman. Yeah?
Yeah, okay. That's Pattinson. What was his first name?
Robert. Is it Robert?
Is it Robert?
Robert, yeah, it's Robert.
It is Robert.
So if you don't know, Batman is based on the DC comic characters of the same name, produced by DC Films and Warner Bros. Pictures. It is a reboot of the Batman film franchise. It was supposed to come out next year, but due to the pandemic, it's now moved up
delayed.
it's moved up to 2022, I believe. Yeah.
I wouldn't think that. I'm just wondering.
It's quite ashamed.
I'm just wondering why they're delaying it when it was due out next year. Because I know there's been quite a few films that have been delayed to come out next year. The new James Bond film, which I'll be discussing next, is delayed until next year.
Yeah, but I think it's because it's such a big movie and the budget is quite high. The budget, actually, it's not that high. It's $180 million. Ooh. But still, because like, a lot of people love Batman. Yeah. So I think that...
Well, they want to try and get as many people in as possible.
Yeah, and plus make the money back as well.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people love Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really a DC person, more into Marvel and all that. But
yeah. Well, I'm not into either.
So, the actors are Robert Pattinson, who plays Batman, but he is also in other movies like Twilight. I think that's the only one I know him from.
It was Edward, right?
Yeah, he plays Edward in Twilight. We also have Zoe Kravitz. She plays Catwoman. Colin Farrell, who plays Penguin.
Penguin's that weird one, isn't it? The weird, quirky one.
I think so, I don't know.
I like him.
And Paul Dano, who plays as Riddler.
Thanks for that, Tania. I'll now be moving on to the new James Bond film, James Bond No Time to Die. Now, this James Bond film will be released sometime in 2021 and is based on James Bond, of course, 007, British Secret Service. He's recruited to rescue a kidnapped scientist and finds himself hot on the trail of a mysterious villain who's armed with dangerous new technology. Now, I have done my research and I found a piece of new technology that I would like to share with you all today. Tania, I think you would especially like this bit of technology. It is very interesting.
Well, it depends what it is. We'll see.
Well, it is a glider.
Sounds kind of cool. Explain more.
Well, it has collapsible wings and they can fold back to make the glider a super fast submarine. The budget for this film is our highest one. It's going to be the highest one on our list for today anyway. It is $250 million US.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. But if you consider the actors that we've got, I've narrowed it down to the top 4. We've got Daniel Craig as James Bond. We have Rami Malek as Safin, Léa Seydoux as Madeline Swan, and Ralph Fiennes as M.
Another upcoming movie would be Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, so Wonder Woman is about a lady called Diana Prince who goes by the superhero name Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman squares off against Maxwell Lord and the Cheetah, a villain who possesses superhuman strength and agility. The release date is 25th December. However, due to the pandemic, it could possibly be delayed to next year. It seems like such a good movie from what I've seen in the trailer. It will be quite unfortunate for it to be delayed.
Yeah.
The budget for the film is $200 million. Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but not
as much as James Bond, but still a lot.
Considering what Wonder Woman is, like so many like super
that's been going on for a while now. Wonder Woman,
like so much special effects. And the top 6 actors are Gal Gadot, who plays Wonder Woman. She's also in Fast and Furious and Justice League. In Justice League, she does play Wonder Woman. And we have Chris Pine, who plays as Trevor, and you might recognize him from Star Trek,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Kristen Wiig, who you might know is from Ghostbusters, The Martian, or The Bridesmaids. Pedro Pascal, who plays the character of Maxwell Lord. He is also in Game of Thrones, The Kingsman, and The Equalizer 2.
The way I fly, they will never find us.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
Radar.
Will they shoot at us?
Thank you for the Wonder Woman 1984, was it? Okay. We'll now be moving on to what you've all been waiting for. The battlegrounds of originals versus remakes. Would you like to start us off with your comparison, Tanya?
Sure, why not? Okay, so my first comparison is Mulan. The comparison of Mulan 1998 and the remake Mulan 2020. So the original Mulan is about a young woman named Mulan is distraught to learn that her weak father must join the army to fight the invading Hans. Unwilling to endanger his life, she disguises herself as a man and joins the army in his place. The budget for this movie is $90 million. So if you didn't know, Mulan is based in China during the Han Dynasty. So the Mulan 2020 version, the storyline is the same as the original one, but obviously the actors are just different. And the budget is $200 million. The top 6 actors we have is Liu Yifei, who plays as Mulan. So we have Jet Li as the Emperor, Donnie Yen as the Commander, Yoson An as Shen, Gong Li as Xiang, Jason Scott Lee as Borikhan. Instead of releasing Mulan in cinemas, they decided to release it on Disney Plus. They only released it on Disney Plus because of the coronavirus. People had to pay £99 to watch the film. Mulan made $35.5 million on its opening weekend from Disney Plus subscribers. The things I liked about the movie was the music, because it seems more realistic compared to the original one, because the remake doesn't have any songs in it, but they do add instrumentals from the top songs in the original, which makes this remake more true to its story. The remake also got rid of the main character, Mishu, and replaced it with a phoenix, which is supposed to show more symbolism and make it more real compared to having a talking dragon in the movie. So the Disney remakes like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, they all follow the same storyline as the animated films, but this time with Disney, they decided to take a different direction to the movie. So they wanted to focus more on martial arts, because in the original they focused more on Mulan's journey. However, in this one, it does show her journey, but it just focuses more on like war and like martial arts and everything.
Fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which it like shows her warrior side compared to her soft side. I don't know.
Okay.
And I really liked what they did to it, like focusing more on martial arts instead of how it was in the original, where they just didn't focus more on martial arts. I really liked how they did that. Anyways, after Mulan got released, there have been some critics saying Mulan is being portrayed in an inauthentic way. Okay, so the film had generated calls for boycott after drawing criticism for shooting in the same area where China forced millions of Uyghur Muslims into internment camps. However, on the bright side of things, Mulan made more money on Disney Plus than Tenet did in cinemas. They were very close though. but Mulan just beat it. And to be honest with you, I would say Mulan was a really good movie.
Okay, well,
But I haven't watched Tenet, but I
only
really
saw
think
the
Mulan's a
original.
really... I've watched it like 2 times, so...
God. I'll be moving on to comparing Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was released in 1971.
Wow, that's a long time.
That's a long time ago. And Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was released in 2005. Now, if you didn't already know, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory are based on a young boy called Charlie, who's from an impoverished family. He wins a ticket along with 4 other kids to win a tour of an amazing chocolate factory, and it's run by an imaginative chocolatier called Willy Wonka and his staff of Oompa Loompas. The budget for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is only $2.9 million, making it our lowest budget on this list for today. Now, the top 6 actors for the 1971 film were Gene Wilder, who plays as Willy Wonka, Peter Ostrom, who plays as Charlie Bucket, Julie Dawn Cole as Veruca Salt, Denise Nickerson as Violet Beauregard, Michael Bolner as Augustus Gloop, and Paris Themen as Mike TV. Now, the budget for the 2005 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is $150 million US, which doesn't
That
surprise.
is a huge difference, yeah.
That is a huge difference, yeah, but it doesn't surprise me with the actors you've got. They are Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka, Freddie Highmore as Charlie Bucket, Anna Sophia Robb as Violet Beauregard, Julia Winter as Veruca Salt, Jordan Fry as Mike TV, and Philip Wygratz as Augustus Gloop. Now, with comparing these 2 films, there is a similarity with both of them. Both of them decided to be set in America, which, fair enough. In the Roald Dahl book of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he doesn't give a specific setting. He describes the area as a great town, and that's it. There's no England or America, it's just a great town. Now, on to the differences. There are 2 differences I would like to mention today. Can't mention all of them due to timing. In Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Veruca Salt actually falls down the golden goose scale, known as the egg decatur. However, in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, she gets pushed down the garbage chute by squirrels.
Well, isn't she a nutter?
Now, the last difference I will mention is Slugworth. He appears a lot more frequently in the original than he does in the remake, and he actually has spoken lines. And Willy Wonka uses him to try and trick the children into giving away his recipes. However, in the remake, Slugworth has no spoken lines and we only see him for a few seconds. However, it is explained that he has managed to get hold of some of Willy Wonka's recipes, which is why Willy Wonka then closes his factory to people and employs Oompa Loompas instead. Now, for me personally, I would have to say that my favourite would be the remake. I still really enjoy the original, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just Johnny Depp. He makes it really, really good.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like, I prefer the remake as well, only because Johnny Depp, and it's just him.
It's Johnny
like, Depp. Yeah, like how can you not like Johnny Depp?
Yeah. Right. That's it for us today. That's all the time we've got for today. So, thank you everyone for joining us for our 21st episode of Filmscapes. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming and watching us. We will be back again on Friday for our next episode. So, until then, stay tuned
and stay safe.